All right. I am still in a bad way. Frankly, frankly, I can't remember the last time I was this sore. Um, I can't remember the last time I was this sore, man. Adductors, glutes. Those 100 reps that I did the other day have really, really taxed me. Um, Struggled walking last few days at work. Sitting on chairs, getting up of chairs. I'm disabled. Uh, I tried squatting today as well after work. That didn't go well. I went to a 19-inch box. That's not gonna go well. Just so much damn DOMs. So much DOMs. Um, it's taken a lot out of me, and frankly, now I'm kind of feeling cold as well, which is worrying me again that I'm gonna get sick again. Uh, I make the same damn mistakes all the time. You know, I really, really, really want to train, and then I push too hard, and I mean, this is the trouble with high rep training. It's so freaking taxing. You know, 100 reps with 100 kilos. He's taken a lot out of me. Is this the best way to go about it? To have one monster session and then not be training at all for the following 3-4 days? Is that the best way to go about it? I'm not sure. I mean, there's arguments out there to say that, you know, smaller bite-sized pieces are probably the way to go. Because when you have such a massive response from the body, the soreness that I'm feeling, you're basically rendered useless, immobile for the following 3-4 days. And I don't know if that's good for anything. Sure, okay, you're going to be recovering for this period. You're going to be, building muscle, building tissue, all the rest of it. But when you're completely immobile, like I can't squat at all. Like I can't squat at all. I don't think that's a good idea. So I think I've overdone it. Clearly, I've overdone it. Ideally, I think if you're going to push volume, 3 days a week is something that's the best. Three days a week, so you have to kind of work out your volume and your intensity and all of that from there. You have to work it out. I mean, I'm clearly not fit enough for 100 reps with 100 kilos. 10 sets of 10. Clearly not fit for that, but I opted out for it. Like, this is the thing. Like, when you're doing rep work, it's deceiving in the sense of the weight feels light. Each set felt light, but the accumulated metabolic stress that gets placed on the system of these muscles is huge. I mean, I walked away from that session feeling all right. I'm tired. Don't get me wrong. I'm tired and I'm kind of jelly-legged, but I did not see this coming, man. It's almost like I've never squatted. So I don't know. I'm thinking to myself constantly the last few days, all of those days where I did singles, working up to a comfortable single every single day for like hundreds and hundreds of days in a row. How beneficial was that? Was that a complete waste of time? I was fantasizing that I could apply some of these basketball principles into weightlifting, into barbell training, and it does feel great to be able to repeat your strength, to repeat a near maximum effort on a daily basis. That always feels good, but I'm just wondering, like, what if I just, maybe not 10 sets of 10, but what if I did, I don't know, 4-5 sets of 10 every day? I don't know. These are some of the thoughts that kind of run through my mind. I mean, I don't want to get into the whole what's better, lightweight or heavyweight, high reps or low reps. I don't want to get into whole that conversation, but um, you know, one could argue that if you can repeat an effort every single day for months on end, you're technically not doing anything. Um, you say to yourself, okay, why don't you do 15, 20 singles at 80%? That might seem like it's a good idea and doable, but I've tried similar things, along those lines, doing a whole bunch of singles or doubles at heavy weight. You're not gonna get the DOMs that you get, doing 50% of your max for 100 reps. You're not gonna get the DOMs, but you're gonna get this fatigue, this like wave of just malaise, lethargy, that central nervous kind of like fatigue, where not only are you fatigued and tired, but in my case, I'll lose my appetite. So that's not a really good way to grow. That's not a really good way to get stronger either. I think ideally what I want, now that I'm thinking about all of this, is some combination of the two. So 3 days a week I come in and I hit my sets of 10, but not so much volume that I'm immobile for 4 or 5 days. That, to me, that's a fail. The frequency of that training becomes too great. There's too much of a gap in between. So something where you can reproduce an effort at least twice a week in terms of the volume. So this is where it gets really, really difficult, and this is where periodization makes sense, because how do you balance these two extremes? Pushing the volume and also being fresh enough in the in-between days to actually practice your sport. Because ideally, like right now, I can't practice anything. I can't squat. Nowhere near it. I'm nowhere near 80% right now. I'm so fatigued, so troubled, that it's impossible for me to practice the sports. It's like akin to playing a basketball game and you're so freaking demolished that you can't even go to the following day and take free throws. That's too much. That's not effective training. But that's the trouble with all of this, is like, the balancing of everything out. Maybe I've been wrong the whole time about this whole squat every day thing. Like, I have tried so many angles of the squat every day, so many different angles, that I feel like it's getting to a point where I'm deviating away from the original thought which excited me in the first place, that it's not what I set out to do anymore. The initial idea was high specificity, high intensity, low volume, repeated every single day. What did that result in? Pain. That's essentially what that resulted in. And high reps work for me. So, I don't know, man. I think as I'm sitting here now with what I'm feeling, I'm like, man, this is not the way to go about it, man. If I continue doing this, I might as well stop. I mean, this is not squat every day. This is something else. This is squatting twice a week if I'm going to get smashed. I mean, what I did yesterday, today, and I think the day before, that's not what I'm about. Coming in to squat 60 kilos off a 19-inch box. That's not what I set out to do. It doesn't excite me. I feel like I might as well stop. And for everyone that's thinking, oh, you're just doing this for the sake of doing it, continuing the journey, it's not like that, man. It's not like that. But anyway, these are some of the thoughts that I have in my mind. I mean, I don't mind coming in every single day and doing the whole mental challenge of rocking up every single day. That thing's fine. But just going through the motions, 5 days a week, just coming in and touching the bar and squatting it for an arbitrary, insignificant thing, like that, what's the point of doing it? I might as well not do it at all. That's kind of how I've been thinking the last few days as I'm like struggling to walk at work. I'm like, why am I doing this, man? This is not squat every day. I cannot physically squat every day if I'm pushing so much volume. It's impossible. It's impossible. So if I'm gonna do this heavy volume, it has to be once a week. Have a 10 sets of 10 type of thing, and then throughout the week I'm hitting 60 kilos of a 19-inch box for a set of 5. I don't know. Or maybe this is just the initial insult, and I'll get better as time goes on. Maybe that's also the real story here. I don't know. It's moments like this where I'm like, okay, what am I doing here again? Am I just doing it for the sake of doing it, or am I actually feeling this still? And I still feel it, don't get me wrong, I still feel it. when I'm able to come in and actually perform. But days like this, when I come in and I'm like, there's absolutely no way I can do anything. It's just stupid. This is like 2 or 3 days in a row now where I'm like, I can't do anything. I can't even bend down to pick up a piece of paper off the ground without making old man sounds. But anyway, that's kind of what's been on my mind last few days. I've been doing upper body last few days. That's kind of been all right. But in terms of squatting, completely rendered useless. I can't squat anymore. 10 sets of 10 has killed me. So I've got some like real deep questions about my whole training right now, because I feel like the 10 sets of 10 are doing me great good, but they are so freaking costly, man. So costly. This is bodybuilding. This is not what I set out to do. It really isn't. So, I don't know. Anyway, guys, that's what's on my mind. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.